Good morning, students. You're all now in the good conditions, right? This is not what we are expecting as the process of learning and teaching, but we cannot avoid it. It is inevitable. It is out of our own power and imaginations. I hope you are all in the good conditions. And the discussions for this meeting, in this video, we discuss for the auxiliary verbs or introductory verbs. Some students find it difficult. It's not only you, even teachers or native speakers, especially for the learners, they have some difficulties to understand the use of the auxiliary verbs, the introductory verbs. If you want to speak in English and use it fluently, there is no single sentence in English without subject and predicate. You keep in your mind. The problem for the students, they need to know the combinations of the subjects and predicates, because if they don't know, if they fail to understand, and it is useless. And this is now we discuss the auxiliary verbs. The first we know the auxiliary verbs here, or some people call it introductory verbs, could be in be, do, have, and will, with their own uses and functions. Auxiliary verbs that we know it here could be as a question, could be in the negative, compound tense, and the passive. What is the function of the auxiliary verbs now in the questions, a negative and compound tense and passive? It's just to make them in sentences. Without the auxiliary verbs, they are not applicable. Look at now these pictures. See the hands helping, isn't it? Helping someone to be in the same positions. So now this is the function of the auxiliary verbs, to help verbs to have functions in the question, negative, compound tense, and the passive. The first of all, we discuss about the be as the auxiliary verbs. Be as the auxiliary verbs could be full verb or auxiliary verb or helping verb. So two functions, as the helping or as a full verb. The first as the helping, to make it what? To make it the simple presence, what we call compound tenses. What is compound tenses? There are 16 tenses in English. I need sentences with tenses. So if we want to make them in the right use, we need to know it, the use of be. Like here, I am. Cannot make it he am. So that is already a rule or grammatical functions that you have to follow. We are, and are, is, and am. Here is be. The same thing with the was and were. To make it what? Tenses. This is in simple present, this is in simple past, and this is in past participle with the perfect being. The same thing also happens for the passive. Like this. The house is built, or the house was built. What is it? Is and was, just to make build as the full verb functioning well in the sentence in passive. Also happens in the present and past perfect, and also with the future with will be. It's not only in the passive, not only in the simple present, also in the progressive form or continuous action, ongoing, like he is playing football. The use of is here just to make it playing, fully functioning well in the sentence progressive form. Past progressive, present perfect progressive. It is all tenses, right? When we discuss tenses in the following meeting, without knowing this, you will get confused and fail to understand it. To make it a difference, one tense and another one is be as the auxiliary verbs. Now be as the full verb. Be can be also as a full verb. For the positive sentence, they are 15 years old. They are 15 years old. There is no verb here, right? If you want to make it into negative, just put not here. They are not 15 years old. Or are they 15 years old? You don't need to put any verb here. Like they are calm. They are not calm. That is not right. Why? Because are, be here, be is a full verb. It is not only be that we discuss. What about have? Have also can be as the auxiliary and full verb. You need to know it as a full verb to show or to indicate possession. I have a car. But what is the difference with I have got a car? I have got a car. Here is got is action verb to show possession, and have here is the auxiliary verb. It's not same. I have a car and I have got a car. The meaning is same, but have here is a full verb and have here is the auxiliary verb. Why? Because here have to make got the past participle to have function well. What about this? Compound tenses in passive, present and past perfect. This is what have as auxiliary verb. Also tenses like the active. This is the passive, this is the active. Has played football. Had played football. The house has been built. Look at now this. This is in the present perfect tense. This is in past perfect simple. Here in present and past perfect. What about have in negative? Sentences and questions that we can make it with have as a full verb. I have a house. When I say I have a house, have is possession, isn't it? Yes. But you make it have in negative, you need something like do not have a car. Do I have a car? Why? Because have is a full verb. What is the difference with have not got a car? Have not got a car, the function of have here is not like a full verb to show indications of possession. No indications of possession here. Why? Because have here just to help got, helping verb, the function of the auxiliary verbs, helping got to function well. The next one, what we call here is the last slide that we need to discuss, is the verb do. The verb do can be both also auxiliary and a full verb. As the auxiliary do in negative sentence, like does not play football. Does not here, does not here is for the present simple, and the function is the helping verb for the play. The same thing also with the simple past. Did not play. So the auxiliary verbs here is do to help play, and play in the simple present and simple past in the negative sentence. The same thing also happens do in the questions. Does he play football? Did he play football? So the verb do is irregular. Why? Look at here. Does, did. It's not regular. Why? If it is regular, we can say that one like ending with ed. In the simple presence, I, this is with do. You, they, this is all with do. And he, she, it with does. Same thing also with the simple past. All subject start with I until they. This is all with it. Okay, what about do as a full verb? As a full verb, do with a certain expressions. She does her homework. The meaning is doing homework. It is full verb, so does here is not the same as does here. Does here is action verb to do something, and that's the reason does needs doesn't do. Why? Because doesn't do to help does change into infinitive. So doesn't do, doesn't here, and does here, this is not same. No, it's not same. Not same. Why? Because does here is action verb, and doesn't here is just helping verb or auxiliary verb. Same also with does she do her homework every day in interrogative form. Okay, I just want to recap and to sum up the explanation here. Anytime you want to make it the auxiliary verb, remember, it could be as the full verb or auxiliary verb. And the function is just one, to help verb function well in sentence. To make it what? Question. To make it what again? Negative. To make it what again? Tenses. And to make it what again? Passive. I think that is all about what we discussed. I hope you understand. If you want to ask some questions, you can call me, or you can give me questions, or you can make a communication in the GC or WhatsApp. That's all for today. Keep calm and learn English. See you again in the next meeting. Bye.